Hello and welcome to the first edition of Martin Turner Tutorials. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Adobe, and I want to start off by showing you what Adobe offers in terms of products and services, because it can be a little bit confusing, and I want to explain a little bit about why to use certain things and how best to set up your workflow. So I'm going to start off by heading over to the Adobe website. This is just when you do a Google search, this is the site which comes up. And the best way to see what they do is, let's a little bit bigger here, is click on the menu button and it gives you a really quick overview of what their products and services are. Now, it used to be that when you signed up with Adobe, you used to purchase the product outright, and it would be fairly costly, and you would have that product and that would be it. Until the next product came out, in which case you could upgrade to the new one for a fee. Now they have changed over to a subscription model, which I was really excited about when it happened, and I'm still really excited about it. The way it works is fantastic, and it's really, really good for workflow. So we can see up at the top in this window here, this section, there's a list of programs. The first two that I'm going to talk about are the first two on the list, Photoshop and Illustrator. There are more, there are dozens of them to be honest, but Photoshop and Illustrator are the ones which you really want to focus on and really get good at. Photoshop is an image compositing software, so what that means is that it's pixel based and it is layer based. So what you do in Photoshop is you bring in a bunch of images, you modify them, edit them, crop them, apply effects to them, and piece them all together like a jigsaw puzzle through the use of layers. If you imagine a stack of paper or a stack of tracing paper, and you put something different on each layer, and you hold them all up together, you can see everything that's there. It's exactly the same thing, just digitally. Because it's pixel based, you have to create your projects to the resolution that you want them to be. So if that is an A4 document, then you create it for A4. What that means is you should be able to scale it down, but scaling it up will be a problem, and that's because the pixel will stretch and it will look very granular and very pixelated, which is not the effect you're looking for. Unfortunately, because it is image based and a lot of image is photography, photography has a limited number of pixels based on the camera which it came from. Some cameras obviously have higher resolutions than others, but just be aware of that when you're working in Photoshop, because it can cause you problems in the long run. Now, Illustrator is what we call a vector-based application, so it's sort of the anti-Photoshop is the way I see it. What it does is it creates flat images which are equation based, so you will give the program a set of points visually and it will convert those into images, and when you resize that image it redoes the calculation. And this is really, really important, because if you create a square that is 3 centimeters across by 3 centimeters across and you create that in Illustrator, if you blow that up to the size of a building, the edges will be razor sharp. If you do the same thing in Photoshop, the edges will not be sharp. They will be pixelated. So these are the differences. We're going to start off by looking at Illustrator, because I think it's one that doesn't get enough coverage and doesn't get enough attention. I think there's a lot that we can learn from Illustrator, and hopefully a lot that you guys can learn about Illustrator from me. I am available for questions, so in the comments below, please feel free to ask questions. I will always try and respond to those questions where I can. And let's move on to the next video and hopefully have a little bit of fun in Illustrator. Thank you very much.